All right. So AP World kiddos. This is actually my first recording, so hopefully this gets a bit more natural for me as I go throughout the year. But you guys had your summer assignment, and it was a pretty big PowerPoint. My expectation really wasn't for you guys to read every little bit of information and commit everything to memory, as I mentioned in class. But before we jump into period 2, which is known as the classical period, and start looking at India this week, there was this transitional phase that I included in the PowerPoint, and so I want to talk about it on this video before we jump into classical period India. So one of the things you looked at in your summer assignment was the 4 river valley civilizations. And just to recap that, those are, some of humanity's earliest civilizations as Homo sapiens transitioned from being hunter-gatherers to agriculturalists. And that transition is known as the Neolithic Revolution. So the River Valley civilization in India, known as Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa Valley, they're right along the Indus River. They're going to fall into decline. As stated in the PowerPoint earlier, hopefully you looked at it this summer, historians don't know a whole lot about that civilization. They have found evidence of a written record, but there's nothing to compare it with, so they can't translate it. But we know the civilization existed. We know they participated in trade because we can see items that they made. When I say we, historians and archaeologists, have found them in other civilizations and vice versa. It's evident that they traded with people from what we now call the Middle East and so forth. So we know the civilization's there. There is still architectural evidence that the civilization was there, evidence of defensive walls, but they fall into decline. And so before we get into classical period India, we are going to see migrations head into India, where we're going to see the beginning of Hinduism and the caste system and the Vedic Age and religions that are going to really lay the foundation for the rest of the course of Indian history. So it's really worth taking some time to quickly review this. Sorry, I've been on this slide quite a while now. But look at the map here. Hopefully, I believe you guys can see my cursor. But you have the map of India, and you can see this is a bit of a mix of a political and geographical map, but you can see India is a subcontinent of Asia, and there is a mountain range that basically borders that northern part of the subcontinent. And generally speaking, that mountain range has protected India from invasions from outside peoples. But if you look to the upper, please give me a moment, I'm going to, oh, that didn't work. I'll have to fix the settings. I was hoping to have the cursor highlighted. But if you look at what is present day Afghanistan, Pakistan, in the upper left-hand corner of the map, what you see there is there are some breaks in the mountain ranges, and there's going to be a pattern.
Good afternoon, staff. The AP leadership meeting will be held at the reference room, library reference room at 1 p.m. Thank you.
Sorry, I paused there. I don't know if you heard that, but there was an announcement. But basically in that upper left-hand corner, that is where people are going to invade through, and so that's going to happen over quite a few times over the course of Indian history. But yeah, so there's just some things to know about geography and that human-environment interaction, where essentially those mountain ranges, for the most part, did protect peoples in India for quite a while. Also make note of the ocean waters that it's surrounded by, the Bay of Bengal and the Arabian Sea and the Indian Ocean, and we're going to see later this week that that's going to become a major sea lane, Indian Ocean trade for peoples all the way from China through the Middle East. So Aryans in the Vedic Age. So Aryans is the word that is historians use to talk about Indo-Europeans that migrated. Now this is not Aryan in the context that maybe you're used to hearing it, in terms of, unfortunately, Hitler and World War II and trying to create a master Aryan race. Long before that term was adopted for that purpose, Aryans really referred to as, you see there, Indo-European peoples that slowly migrated